it puts them back in power, and that's it. With everything they've experienced, they've been powerless. They've had no control, or they feel they've had no control. And a lot of the time when we go back, when they're in a relaxed state, we can see that actually they were in control to a certain extent. I had a classic example where I had a client that wouldn't leave the house. She was, too scared to go out because she'd had a home invasion. She'd woken up in the night, 3-year-old was in bed, to find somebody coming up the stairs, trying to rob the house or whatever, and it frightened her so much that she just would never leave the house. And I actually went to her house for her first few sessions to help her with her agoraphobia. And I remember when we went down into that real level, once she'd got used to being relaxed, and I took her back to that stage and I said, okay, so just take myself back and tell me what's happening. She said, he's coming up the stairs. And I said, and what are you doing? And she said, I'm shouting at him, get out my house. And I said, and what did he do? And she said, he left. I said, what, did he run away like a frightened little rabbit? I said, who was in control? And she went, I never looked at it that way. So suddenly she was in control. It was safe for her to do things because she helped. She sorted herself out. She saved her daughter. She saved herself. But for some reason, the subconscious had seen it as in, you were powerless. You can't leave the house now in case it comes back. Or he goes. So the whole story was just flipped in that short moment. And suddenly she was the one that's saying no. And she decided, I said, you can say, no, I'm not going to be controlled.